Welcome to Holistic Human Performance Podcast. My name is Gena Bradshaw, where we talk all things holistic health, wellness, spirituality, fitness, meditation, energetics, and so much more to help you become the healthiest version of yourself. Let's dive in. This is not medical advice. This is simply to help you on your journey through health, fitness, and wellness. I hope this helps. You can complement this with anything that you are doing currently in your life. Enjoy. Have you ever felt absolutely hopeless when it comes to your health, body pain, chronic disease, mental and emotional distress, and your stress management? Yeah, I've been there too. And after years of my own health and healing journey, learning all of these different holistic healing modalities and tools, I've finally come to a point in life where I have absolutely never felt better. And I want to teach you those tools. And that's why I've created the Magnetic Mobility Meditation Program, designed specifically to tap into your body, listen to the inner wisdom it's trying to share with you, and really connect your mind, body, and soul so that you can be the healthiest, happiest version of yourself and be able to thrive in your life and truly learn about your own energy, what you need, what your non-negotiables are, as I combine this body-based practice to help you reclaim your health and thrive in your life. And did I mention that you get a 5-day free trial to the Holistic Human Performance Wellness Center, where you can access all these different programs, on-demand videos, meditations, breath work, movement, exercise, nutrition coaching, all to help you biohack your life, enhance your health and well-being, and to help you have these tools that you can put in your toolbox and you can utilize them whenever, wherever you need. Go get your 5-day free trial at www.holistichumanperformance.co/academy. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Holistic Human Performance Podcast. I'm your host, Gena Bradshaw, and today we got a solo episode with your girl. I'm so excited. I know I've had so many amazing guests, who truly I'm just like, I need to have you on and I need to interview you. And so today we have a solo episode. And I mean, let's just talk about what's going on in the world, okay? So we just went through a major eclipse and new moon, which is new beginnings, rebirth, right? But this eclipse was very potent. It was on April 8th. I'm not an astrologer, but these are the things that I kind of lean into. I keep an open mind and an eye out to, just astrologically the things that are going on, because it plays a huge role. And a lot of us don't realize this, but it does play a role in our lives, our scheduling, how we operate, what's going on in the collective, in the world. And, just think about it. Our ancestors were utilizing the sun, the stars, and the moon to just live their lives, tell time and all these really amazing things. And, creating rituals and routines and things that are very sacred. And so personally for me, this eclipse has been very challenging. Okay. It's a couple days after. And, I've been very tired, which is fine. I'm honoring my body. So if you guys are feeling tired and lethargic, start to just honor your body and really tune into what you need. Maybe you need to fine tune your nutrition. Maybe you need to fine tune your exercise. Maybe you need to meditate more or be out in nature. I know for me, I was in Arizona and oh man, when I went on this hike, it was like feeding my soul, like being out in that type of nature, like the desert, which is That's not where I'm from. I grew up around beaches every which way, in within 15 minutes of me. And so, being outside in nature and like viewing it from a different perspective, seeing Mother Nature in like a whole different light is so cool. So yeah, for me, it's been like really just downtime, being alone, listening to what I need, and not feeling bad about it, which is something that I struggle with. And I talk about this a lot. I always have that uh drive that I need to be able to shut off at times. So cyclical living is part of that as well. And so, yeah, we this eclipse was super major. It was like a portal going into this new up-leveled version of you. So if you're someone who honestly hasn't been doing the work, good luck. I'm so sorry to say this, but it's true. You have to do the inner work. As tiring and as hard as that may seem, it let's just say it's a couple of hours you're going through a very emotional time, or maybe the week where you're just like up and down and up and down. Then you think about it and you're on the other side and you're like, yes, I did this. Just think in that nature of like, how am I going to be feeling next week for doing all of this amazing work, even though it's hard and it's draining and it's emotional like roller coaster. Just like do the work, because it's a game changer, like I always say. And so just focus on things I want to talk about today that leads me into the topic of today, which is how to up level. How do you up level? There's so many self-help books out there, just like so many things that it's almost confusing and overwhelming. And truthfully, when you give someone too many options, we have a hard time making a decision. And so you kind of have to really get to know your energy. And again, I say this all the time, and this is my goal for my clients, students, all of you out there listening, knowing your energy so well that you can tune in and ask yourself what you need in that moment, in that time, and you get the answer like that. It take a couple minutes, but it's practice. It's just like training a muscle. If you're not training that intuitive muscle, it's going to be hard to tune into. It's just like what it is. You have to be consistent with it. And so that kind of leads me into, how do you up level? There are a couple of different layers to this. And I want to make it easy and digestible for all of you. I know for me, whenever like the eclipse, right? I am personally, my astrological zodiac sign. I am a Cancer, sun and moon, and then my rising is Libra. Cancers are a cardinal sign, and the cardinal signs currently during the eclipse and new moon in Aries, I mean, this is like karmic endings, new cycles, rebirth. It's gonna be a lot for you this week. And like, that's okay. Some of you, not for everyone, but for some of you, like the up level, I know for me, it's been challenging. And, that's okay. Like, whatever. More rest time for me, and I don't feel bad about it. But let's go into kind of like the first thing. It's accepting where you're at. All right. Are you happy with where you at? Bleh, I cannot speak. Are you happy with where you're at? If not, what do you need to do in order to adjust? So acceptance and then adjustment. And this, when I've spoke about this on a couple of podcast episodes with guests that were on, and it's like ironic how we all kind of agreed and spoke about this topic of, when it comes to lifestyle change, you cannot do everything at once. It's overwhelming. Your nervous system goes into freak out mode, whether it be fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And you just have no clue how to hold that capacity of change. So, habit stacking, one thing at a time. this is how I go through coaching with my clients. I go over 5 different buckets of wellness. So for example, physical is one of them. If you are completely sedentary and you're like, I really need to like get moving, I don't feel great. I know like movement is good for me. I know exercise is good for me. I need to like start to incorporate that. Boom, that's where you start. Go outside, go for a walk, go around the block, sit to stand, start doing yoga, something. Go to classes, whatever motivates you the most. I know and have clients that are motivated, whether it's virtual or in person or class style. Okay. They're self-motivated in that way. If you are not self-motivated and you need someone to show you the way, then maybe consider a coach, mentor, a buddy, a gym buddy, someone who is gonna motivate you. Okay. So that's how you can start to adjust. Maybe it's leading more of a spiritual lifestyle. Again, you all know that is what I'm about. I combine the logical and the spiritual. So it's like that metaphysical way of healing combined with science. Like that's what I'm all about. And so we take these different components of learnings and lessons and teachings and modalities and tools, and we build your toolbox so that you become someone who is self-motivated and confident in the decisions that you make. Okay. Nobody else is going to do it for you. However, if you need, again, that leap from point A to point B to point Z, get a coach. Find someone who's going to help you. Okay. Um, what and again, this is a whole other topic, but really pay attention. Don't just work with someone because they're an influencer and have a lot of followers on social media. No. You need to find someone with credibility and someone you vibe with. Who is someone who just like you're like, yes, this is my person. This is someone who's going to help me get to the next level. Okay. Coach needs a coach, mentor needs a mentor, healer needs a healer. Boom. That's it. So we accept and we adjust in whatever way, shape, or form. Then we move to the next segment, which is identity. Okay. Now, identity is interesting because identity, we hold very tightly onto. We grip very tightly. And identity is what can actually hold us back, right? So I'll use myself as an example. I am a cancer survivor. However, that is not my identity. I am an author. That is not my identity. Okay. Is it a part of me? Is it someone? Is it a past version of myself? Absolutely. That is not who I am, though, right? And getting clear, and this is a very hard question for people when I ask them, and when I start off like coaching sessions, or like workshops and things like that. Who are you? Right? Who are you? If you cannot say who you are, I mean, then that's where the work begins, right? Like I am not a cancer survivor. I am not someone who, I'm not my business. My business, these are all either past versions of myself or extensions of me. Okay. And we just have to be very clear on that. And if you're not happy with who you are, then you need to get real clear on that. Okay. And that's a whole other journey. So that's another tidbit for up leveling. Then we come down to grace with yourself, having grace with yourself. If you are someone who is emotionally unattached, emotionally numb, which most people are, let's be real. I used to be like that too. I used to be like emotionally numb. Like I used to just like shut down my emotions because I didn't have coping tools like I do today. I didn't know what I didn't know, but now I know what I know and I ain't going back. So when you can have emotional intelligence, which is actually more of an indicator of just like intelligence in general rather than IQ. If you're someone who cannot navigate emotions and you're not able to recognize how you're feeling, if you're not able to um acknowledge other people's emotions as well, that's a piece too that you got to work on. Again, part of the journey, part of the healing, part of, I mean, let's be real. Emotional toxicity is the number one toxin to the body. And we hold those emotions, whether they be high vibe or low vibe. And you need to get real clear on what that is. Sometimes though, you don't even need, and this is where the healing modalities come in. I've learned that you don't even need to know sometimes what the why is because it might be like too painful or too traumatic, depending on what it is, and you're just not ready to like, if I'm in a healing session, for example, right, with someone and they've gone through some immense amount of trauma, and sometimes I'll get downloads of like, no, they're not ready to process that. You have to process it for them, right? I'm just merely holding the space. So sometimes I'll start crying for the person because it's just too painful for them, but it still needs to move out of the body. So again, that's where having someone and building your team, your health team, is super important. So having someone who's in that spiritual healing and teaching space. Um, yeah, I mean, it's a huge part of overall health and well-being. If you're not able to process emotions, then it's going to be a hard journey for you. You're going to take things personally. You're going to hold on to other people's emotions. You yourself are going to hold on to your own emotions. And then what happens is this identity gap becomes bigger and bigger and bigger of who you perceive yourself to be and who you actually are. And those emotions start to just create dissonance between the two. And the further apart that gap is, the more addicted you are to emotions. So, some people who are addicted to like drama. I mean, if you have someone in your life that's addicted to drama, gotta go. Bye. Do not get dragged into that. It is so draining. Listen, obviously people go through things, but you know what I'm saying? Like professional victims, narcissists, like on that kind of level, right? Complaining all the time. Like if that's draining you and leaking your energy, maybe you shouldn't be around that person. So that's something that you need to figure out and or create boundaries and say no and be able to create a space where you're protected in your bubble of light and love. I actually do have a surround, ground, and shield mini meditation that I do every single morning and night. That I have actually a video of in the wellness center. So if you're interested, I'll put that actually in the show notes for anybody who thinks they need. And that is honestly a big part of what I bring into my sessions with my clients and students because I mean, if you're open and susceptible to other people's energy, like everything is energy. Just think about that. And then you have your own energy that you're like managing and dealing with. And then you add on other people's, no, thank you. And the collective, oof, nah, we got to get that on lock. Okay. So, having grace with yourself along this process, it is a learning curve. It is literally, think of it this way, you have a glass, right? The water is mucky and dirty in the glass. And you have a stream of water pouring into the glass. And little by little, it starts to get clearer and clearer and clearer. But it doesn't happen in one shoot. That is literally how the healing journey is, right? And then if it's not one thing, it's another that we got to work on. We're peeling back the layers. So having grace with yourself to know that this does not happen overnight. It doesn't. That's just what it is. And we have to accept that. And then we lean into, so the next tidbit is patience and consistency. So having grace with yourself, part of that is patience, right? We live in a 3D world where time and space exists. So those things that we're thinking on an elevated up level, right? That is where our higher self lies. That's where our spirit lies in that 5D, right? We have like 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D, 8D, 90, 10D. And these are different dimensions. Again, whole other topic of conversation. But for those of you who know, you know. Now, when you're in the 5D, that is where manifestations, healings, things that are already happening are happening. It's just a matter of bringing it and grounding it into the 3D. So, you know, let's just say for an example, you are a spiritual healer, you're creating a business, but you have issues with accepting money in exchange for doing your work. That right there is part of the healing that comes to from that 5D to the 3D. So working on your worthiness of receiving, that's something that happens in the 5D and then comes down and you ground it into the 3D. So what happens is you're envisioning yourself as if you're already worthy, having money, having a successful business, soulmate clients, right? This is part of the work if you want to be an entrepreneur. And it's something that I have to constantly work on. So something that I'm really good is grounding it into the 3D. And something that I help other entrepreneurs, spiritual entrepreneurs, wellness entrepreneurs with. So patience, that it takes a little time. We have to deal with time and space. Um, Sometimes it might happen overnight. You know, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but it's rare. It's rare. And then just consistency, keep showing up. Keep showing up. I remember when I started, so my journey and career started in the fitness industry, fitness and nutrition, Olympic weightlifting, functional strength training, strength and conditioning, functional movement screen, mobility, all those things. I went to school for exercise science. And then it came to a point where I'm like, there's more. And then I really got into Eastern medicine, holistic living, wellness, and things of that nature because I mean, I did it for myself. It helped me. And then I said, oh, I need to like become certified in these things. And so that's what I did. Little by little, consistency, educating myself, tapping into my intuition to guide the way and lead the way. And just I keep showing up because I mean, you guys are amazing. I can't believe what holistic human performance has grown into, who I've grown into. And, you know, the feedback from you guys, just from the podcast alone, the community, the listeners, I mean, it is kind of like, whoa, it's surreal to me in a way. Like this consistency builds and it works. If you're in it for the long haul, consistency and patience are going to be key components to continuing on and being able to achieve your goal. And with that comes pivoting, comes change. As I change and evolve, my business changes and evolves. And like I'm cool with that. Some people, they're not cool with that. And that's what holds them back. So that's another key, patience and consistency. And then the last one I got for you is be open and surrender. Surrender. Oh, man. Surrender requires you to kind of take your hands off the wheel and co-create with God, source, universe, you know, whatever you want to put in there. Um, when you tap into being, you're like, and for me, I'm an right. This is not my identity, but I was an athlete. I am still an athlete with life. And part of that has helped me realize that teamwork is so pivotal. So kind of think of yourself as with God, source, universe, like teamwork. You guys are co-creating together to bring magic into this world, to bring your highest desires, your soul gifts into this earthly form, this 3D, in turn helping to evolve the collective. that is like the end game. That's part of the game of life. Like, what are you bringing to the table? Okay. You can have all of these amazing materialistic things, but at the end of the day, are you leaving a legacy? If that's what you choose. And again, we have the choice, we have the free will. You could literally just like sit on your ass all day and just like melt away in the couch. Like you have that choice too. For me, not appealing. I'm not about that lifestyle. So if you're someone who is and you're like super miserable and just like not happy with where you're at, and you're suffering, I mean, it's time for change. So let's do this. Like, let's thrive together. Why do you want to be miserable? Right? Like, why are we doing this to ourselves? So this requires us to start from the top, right? And then we get to the surrender part where it's like, so you surrender and now you surrender more. Real like this whole week for me, I kind of feel like I'm like, oh man, like I'm not working as much. Like, and it's kind of it was kind of like getting in my head, but I had to just like, okay, I work hard. Let me take my hands off the wheel and just like relax and just enjoy and travel, you know what I mean? And do what feels right. That's where I'm at. And that requires you to surrender. And a lot of people are like, "How do I surrender?" Yes, it's a process. It takes time. Again, this has a lot to do with nervous system regulation, and that is something that I always incorporate with the work that I do with my clients, students, and things of that nature. I- You have to build your capacity. You have to, unwire, rewire neurological patterns and behaviors, and in order to be a new person, you have to act like that new person. You have to act like it's already happening, it's already here. Like you got to be delusional, basically. Be Delulu. That's pretty much what it is. Okay. Surrender, surrender, surrender. And lastly, be open. Be open to change. Be open to different doors. Be open to just whatever is coming your way. And if it doesn't feel right for you, say no. Cool. Some things might be tests from the universe. Some things are like, are you going to accept this or are you going to go back into hiding and, your imposter syndrome and fear? And are you going to like kind of ruin this? Okay. And self sabotage, right? Doesn't mean that that opportunity won't come around again. It might, but, you never know. So it's like, why not just take the leap? It's kind of like, if you do speaking engagements, for me, I don't like it. I don't even like showing up on video, to be honest with you, but I do it because I know that people like it. And it's just like part of what I do and where I'm headed with business and just like teaching, educating other people and helping other people. And let's be real, like if you want to hit a global level, showing up on social media and showing up is on online is part of it. That's just what it is. So be open to different opportunities. A lot of people are very focused and closed-minded. So let's like put the blinders down. Let's open up our focal point and just look around. It's like, I mean, there's so much opportunity everywhere. It's abundant everywhere. And there's enough to go around for everyone. And so that's what I'm going to leave you with. And if this is a big pill to swallow, that's okay. There's levels to this shit. And I'm here to help you with whatever you need. Contact me, hit me up on social media. I always put in the show notes. And if you need like one-on-one mentorship, coaching, healings, hit me up. And I have like a really amazing program that for me took me a while to kind of create this methodology, but it is a freaking life-changing modality that I'm like, oh, I got to share this with other people. So I combine movement and sound and meditation and chanting and aromatherapy in this program. It's called Magnetic Mobility Meditation Method. And this is what I bring to you guys, where it teaches you that the body always keeps the score. We have to be able to tune into the body because this is where the guiding point is, the intuition. Okay. We need to get out of our heads and get into our body. We need to clear our channels and our meridians, any blocks in organs, anything in our fascia, our muscles, our bones. Like we hold so much in our bodies that we just like don't even realize and we shut down. So this program is designed to help you tap into your body, unblock, transmute, clear, and regenerate to help you up level and transform your life and your health. And to in turn be able to bring forth your soul gifts and your life's mission and purpose into this world. It is outstanding the amazing testimonials and just beautiful community that's been built out of this. And I'm really excited to bring this to you guys. And so, if this is something that you feel like you need, I mean, it's been life-changing to so many clients and students. It's the magnetic mobility meditation method and program. You can get it at holistichumanperformance.co/digital courses. I'm pretty sure that's right. I'm gonna put it in the show notes. So anyways, if you have any questions, please reach out. And in the meantime, I hope you have an amazing day and just simmer and re-listen to this episode and kind of take it step by step. I'm here for you. And remember to share with a friend, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.